All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is the last game of the night over here for the Fort Meade Cup. It is going to be the free agent, secret agents versus the 86, 800, 867th Hawks. One day I will get those names right. We have the winners of last game, the jungler and the ADC, Odell and Yubi. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name because I don't want to be disrespectful and mess that up. But we got draft
Chantamala.
going on, and Asol is banned away. How do you
All
say
right.
it?
Chantamala.
Chantamala.
It's fine.
Chad. I'm gonna call him Chad.
It looks a lot more intimidating than it actually sounds, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. UB is the
What is,
easier way to call me.
what
So,
is the origin? What is origin?
um, it's from Laos, Southeast Asia, Laos.
No way!
I am
Okay.
Laotian. Yeah,
All right.
a very very rare. I'm the only Chantamala here.
Because I'm looking at it and I want to say, it looks to me, because I grew up on the border of Mexico, so it looks like Aztec origin, but I'm like, that doesn't look right though.
That would be absolutely wild if I was asked.
Like
Absolutely
it's
wild.
what it's in my mind. That's what it's supposed to be. But Smolder banning out, Volibear as well, Kane, Diana, and Malzahar off the table. All six of these champs really good this patch.
All right, so knowing these two teams, I'm playing against them like somewhat recently being the last 2 weeks. Secret agents, they're a really coin flip team. I'm gonna say that right now. Um,
Okay.
when our team 32nd IS played into Secret Agents, they were absolutely playing through like out of their mind like through the roof with their gameplay. But when they played against Five of First, who 32nd had absolutely stomped earlier in the season, they looked like a completely new team, not gonna lie. And I have no idea whether to like rate them as top of the tier and like or just not very good because these guys flip their performance like every time.
Okay.
I'm hoping we see the good side of them today because they are a lot. They can if when they put their gameplay and performance to it and their mind to it, they play really fucking well. But when they have that Shaco support, it kind of looks like a fiesta. I'm calling out the Shaco support specifically. I had to
uh,
cast that game twice.
yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, I
That
had to
does.
cast the Shaco support twice, and I hate that champion. I'm
This
always
is
biased against it.
this
What's
is
wrong with
the first.
Shaco?
I don't know
I
everything.
don't look.
Everything right
If you
now.
have a champion that has a free flash, a free invis, and one ability on a 12-second cooldown, there's a problem. I'm gonna talk shit about it. I hate that champion.
Wow, it's kind of like how Zoe can just pick up random summoning spells. If we're talking about champions that
Okay,
just are
look,
just garbage.
but
Yo, I'm
okay,
enjoying this conversation so much.
I mean, if you want to really talk about Shaco, I want to talk
okay,
about Zoe
okay.
and how stupid that
Okay,
champion is.
look, that's a different story. But anyway, looks like they had the Varus picked out on the secret agent side, and
Oh
Sejuani
wow.
Plain support,
Morgana.
please. Plain support. Yes, downtown is playing support.
Okay, that's much
Uh,
better than the support shake. Well, I will say that now.
Yes, yeah.
I like Swain mid better here, honestly.
It might still be Swain mid, to be honest.
I
Like,
like the Swain mid better. Just because the mid lane prio that Jin Zhao and Swain can just get is really good for those early objectives. And Swain being able to like rotate over the grub mites, be
Ooh, I
really
think it's the
good
first
too.
Kog'Maw game.
Yo, I love Kog'Maw.
I haven't seen a Kog'Maw in a
I
long
haven't
time.
seen.
Like,
I said I haven't seen
even
in a while
outside of
either.
the
He's
the
broken.
league,
What I
I
don't
don't see him.
understand is he's actually just OP right now, but he's like sleeper OP.
I wouldn't know because I haven't played against one. I would not
He,
know.
Right.
he's sleeper OP because of his on hit build being so good. His Kog'Maw's only problem is that assassins are meta right now, so and his health bar is
Well,
basically non-existent, so he
I,
just gets
I don't think he
blown
has
and
up.
a
Diana are both
Kog'Maw.
gone at least.
I don't
Yeah,
think that's a Kog'Maw specific problem. I'm not gonna lie. I
that's a
think that's just
Kog'Maw specific problem.
I think that's an ADC thing.
But
It's
some of the ADCs that are meta right now, they have a lot of mobility in their kit, where Kog'Maw just doesn't have that.
I'll just say, as far as the Hawks draft, right? It's like the whole, Mr. President, get down, keep the Kog'Maw alive. You got Sejuani frontline that also has great peel. You have Morgana Black Shield to keep him alive. I mean, if you're Hawks, I think you just blind pick Shen for City and Black, and then you just wait for wherever the mid pick is going to be.
Yeah, honestly, that's the play. I like the Shen blind here. I also kind of like another Get Down, Mr. President pick, and the Tom Kench.
The only worry here is that if they pick too much, like too focused
Then
on
it'll be low
Kog'Maw,
damage.
Oh, they're gonna
if
go.
Kog'Maw goes
Oh,
down, they have no damage, like we saw in the
Mhm.
there
earlier
goes
game tonight.
a blind mid pick with the Karma.
The
I do like the
Yuumi
blind
ban.
Karma. I do
Never
like the
have I
blind
ever
Karma.
thought I would see
Yeah,
a Yuumi ban.
Yuumi ban.
Why are they banning Yumi?
I
I
haven't
Unless they
seen.
thinking Morgana could be flexed to mid lane. That's the only thing I think of.
mean, Morgana is pretty strong this patch right now, so I can see it. I do like the
Ooh,
Lissandra
Lissandra.
ban.
I actually like
do
that
like it.
blind.
I like the Lissandra because if that Swain is mid, then Lissandra's a really good pick into it.
Mm-hmm. I'm a person, so I know like Lissandra's not meta, but I personally am always been a big fan of Lissandra just because she has a lot of CC potential in the kit and has enough to keep herself alive. So I've always liked having her as a mid laner or top.
We're
But
seeing
I haven't seen her
another
top in a long
Nasus.
time.
The dog.
This is
Come
gonna
on,
be
bring the dogs out again.
bring the
Give
dog
it
out
to
again.
PG.
Please tell me it's
Yes!
another AP. It's
Give
another.
PG the
It
dog.
needs to be AD.
Nah. I want to see the.
Wayne mid lane called it.
It's another Shaco support. There's no way.
No.
There's
Yubi,
no
don't
way.
worry, man. Don't worry. Me and you, we have the same hate for that champ.
Malfight. You love Malfight.
Why are we going for champs I hate? What is this? What is this discrimination against me?
You almost got a
God.
pentakill last game. That's why.
Oh, of course, yeah. But then the
okay,
other
Camille
Camille
support.
person
respectable.
in
It's gonna, be
Camille's
here.
a,
respectable.
it's gonna be a Camille support. Wow.
That's respectable. And
You know
Camille
what?
support is actually really good right now.
I personally have played the Camille support myself with the Halo Blades, and Camille support is
It's
actually
crazy.
amazingly strong.
It
The
is
aggression and the
so
damage is
strong.
crazy.
It's so good.
Play that with a Senna as your counterpart, like your lane counterpart. So like a Senna Camille
Counterpart.
lane. That is a free. It is a free lane. Like, oh gosh.
But the only worry is that it is a Morgana with Black Shield. She could negate the initial engage on Camille, which is
You
what
only
allows
have
her to
so
get that
many.
burst.
You only have so much Black Shield because now we have to think about. Okay, now we have Chains of Corruptions. Now we have the Death Claws. Now we have Wither. Now we have Jin Zhao when becomes lightning, and the hook shot. Like there's only so much CC in the game you could stop. Like
I feel like
somebody is getting to Kog'Maw, whether they like it or not.
look, they have the Black Shield, and then they have the Lissandra R to stop it as well, the Sejuani to tank it, and the Garen to like be out there for DPS. Honestly, in terms of like draft on both sides, this is gonna be a bit of a hard one to decide because I'm not too favored into either team at the moment. Obviously, this would have been different if one of them picked Shaco, but since there's not, I had to be more fair in my I mean, I'm always fair in my assessment, but
I'm six out.
If I had to pick teams, right? I'm looking at the secret agents. They're engaged. They do have Camille. They do have Xin Zhao going in, but they have to follow up on the damage. Obviously, Camille support, so it's going to be a little hard. Kind of some of the damage being nerfed a little bit. Xin Zhao does have great damage going in. The problem with that is it's kind of like I'm a Vi main secondary. So once you're in, you're in. You don't really have a way to get out of the fight. So he has to hope Binding doesn't catch him. He has to hope Frozen Tomb, Lissandra doesn't hit him. Glacial Prison, I think it's not a Relentless Charge. I think it's Sejuani. Like there's so much potential to knock him up. So it's going to be very difficult on Jabberwocky to find these angles. If he can, and they can blow up Kog'Maw, there goes the comp. Like, bye-bye. Thanks for the damage. What else do you have? However, what I want to pay special attention to is that top lane. If Garen becomes a problem, it's going to be a split push. Because you can just take turrets like none other in that lane, especially if you get Tiamat into Titanic. And you're just beating the hell out of that turret. And Nasus has to stop him. So I'm very curious how these junglers are looking into the solo lane top matchup.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like the team fights could go either way. I think it really is going to come down to who can gain control over the objective first. Because both Hawks and the Secret Agents have really good choke point control, really good objective control. So it's going to come down to who can could get to the objective first, set up the control and the vision. But also, Hawks have a secret weapon with the Garen, like you were saying, throwing the split push down. So now you run the risk, if you're the Secret Agents, do we take this 5v4 and risk Garen melting our base? Or do we try to match him with maybe the Nasus or maybe the Camille, and now we're down potentially a lot of CC and damage just trying to match Garen's push.
So a fun fact about Garen as a champion that people quite often forget or don't just don't realize, but Garen Q actually has the ability to cleanse slows. So
Yep.
as a champion, he already naturally counters Nasus, because if Nasus withers, Garen can actually remove that with his Q. I played this matchup before and I've done it. It is really powerful. It allows Garen to run down Nasus whenever and escape ganks when he gets wither started. It's so I think that in terms of like the top lane matchup, Garen is heavily favored for that and will need a lot of assistance from Xin Zhao if Peachy Myra wants a chance against him.
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see as we near spectate delay. Odell, do you have any closing thoughts before we get into this final game?
I'm actually really curious. Like, I don't want to be biased with jungle, but jungle routes, especially early game, both of you can attest to this, play such a pivotal impact in the early game. And if you can snowball the early lead, then it makes your mid game that much easier. So seeing if they're going to skip camps, right, do a 3 clear into a gang, Xin Zhao is very famous for that. I'm curious if Jabberwocky will play that, or if they'll just kind of handshake agreement and do a full clear. So that's one thing I'm going to be paying attention to.
I feel like Xin Zhao needs to pick up the pace in this kind of matchup.
Mm,
I don't think he has the luxury of full clear, but we'll
that's what I'm
see
saying. Yeah.
let's see what his decisions are throughout the game.
Personally, I'm curious to see how this bot lane matchup is going to go because the Varus and the Camille want to play so aggressively and get Varus ahead quickly and get him fed fast, whereas Kog'Maw and Morgana are playing for this not I want to say safe under tower, but like waiting till that mid to late game. So just playing the lane to survive. It's really both of them want to accomplish a different objective, but both of them can stop the other from accomplishing that objective with Morgana Black Shield and the fact, let's say Morgana's not in lane and roaming over to support the Grub might take. Varus could more easily 1v1 the Kog'Maw, or they can 1v2 him and just get him out of lane, accelerate Varus more ahead. So that's what I'm curious to see how that plays out. But if you guys don't have anything else, I think we could take a short little break.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on for the match to start because as it is, it's a very close. The draft wise, both teams have a pretty similar setup. So I'm curious to see who plays out the draft better. One is going for straight offense. The other one's looking for a 4 protect 1, 3 protect 1. We'll just see how it plays out. Honestly.
And that we will. About a minute to go on the spectate delay. We're gonna see you guys real fast for game number 3. Go ahead and throw down who you think is gonna win this last game of the night in the chat. But we will see you guys then.
Welcome back to the final game of the night, game 3 on the blue side. You have the free agent, secret agents, and on the red side is the 867th Hawk. For the red side in the top lane, it is City in Black, A1C, Billingsley. I probably butchered that. I apologize. Billingsley. In the jungle, you got Logan Silver, Staff Sergeant Washington. In the mid is Archangel, Captain Hadley leading his team. ADC Manava, Staff Sergeant Navarro. And for your support, it is Kermit, Senior Aaron Davis.
And on the side of secret agents in top lane, we have Peachy Myra. In the jungle, we have Jabberwocky as a Senior Alvi. In the mid lane, we have me, Mousepals as Staff Sergeant McBride. ADC, we have Frozen Bullet, Senior Airman Salts. And for the support, we have Downtown and Staff Sergeant Brown. So to start off the game, it looks like both sides are doing a standard 5-point. No invades this time. I love invades.
They almost went for it. But before we get into anything, for both of you, anybody who watches the VOD, anybody from from the league that comes back and watches the VOD, thank you guys for having such awesome names that I could throw into really cool call-outs. Because Odell, Eternal Cries, like, you literally set me up for anything that I could ever want to say, both in a negative aspect or a positive aspect. I mean, look at I Downtown. He's playing Camille. That's throws the hook shot from downtown. I mean, like, come on. Like, it is. You guys just set it up so beautifully.
Man, I wonder how you were going with Tony Tallboy from the previous game, because I remember that was the top laner for the 41st, and I love his name personally. But
it's really good. I mean, the hook shot actually coming out right now, forcing the flash out of Kermit
from downtown, huh?
From downtown, dude. Here comes Camille down from downtown.
I'm gonna make a counter of every time you make that joke. So hold on.
All right, go for it. It's gonna come out. I'm gonna do it unintentionally every single time.
I know you are. I'm just counting them though.
Oh
Like,
my god, the
Archangel
Swain
on
is straight.
Lissandra. It's so good.
BMAS is just bowling out the Lissandra right now, and Garen is winning the Gnostic matchup as to be expected.
Swain is gonna win these early games into the Lissandra, these early levels until the Lissandra can get a little bit of extra damage. Mouse and Pals is just gonna be able to kind of like free farm the stacks essentially. The Jabberwocky actually here on a roam, really good pullback in, but the flash coming out from Jabberwocky predicts it. Does the wind become lightning? It does not.
The red buff was not enough to finish. That was a preemptive flash by Jabberwocky there, but
you know
I
what?
feel
he knew that Archangel had to take that, so might as well, you know.
I feel like he could have just walked up to it though. I don't think he needed the flash. If he followed Archangel's flash with his own, he would have had a higher chance, in my opinion. That's how I see it. It was a good attempt overall. It looked cool, but I think it was unnecessary.
What a bind. This is what happens when we sit on wards.
Not like they would know. No sweeper yet in the early. And they're also just permanently shoving, which is really bad for engage lane. Kog'Maw really needs to control the wave and let it push out, because
really
Camille's not going to be able to
a really good hook shot to come up. Gets a little bit of damage, but if we go back over to the top lane, thought there was going to be a gank, but looks like the Hawks just back on out, recognizing that. They really don't have the damage against those two.
Xin Zhao hover really prevented that.
Oh, the hook shot jumping right onto Kermit. Now, Kermit do be a dead frog, and downtown goes down as well. Now Frozen Bullet and Manave double kill going over to the Cog.
That was actually... I did not think that Camille would get first blood there, considering how close they were to the tower. But also, Manava getting 2 kills there in return is absolutely massive. I'm not too sure how it would turn out in the long run with the Camille getting early kills like this, but I know that Kog'Maw getting some early kills will really accelerate his scaling, because he does get really oppressive once he gets his first set of components.
Also, one other thing too is, even though Manava got 2 kills, he perfectly froze that wave bot side too, so they gotta play further away, and that hurts.
I think Frozen Bullet really needs to start letting that wave come out more for Camille to get the full effect of her abilities.
Really good root right there. But would you say that was pretty pogs for the Cog?
No.
I'm very happy the silence
I'm very happy you were signed with me during that.
Oh, Camille goes at the hook shot, actually just immediately backed up of that.
Oh, the sigh of disbelief from the two of you makes me sad. But Archangel
go in.
Just gonna go in.
Really path
I feel like if... Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like if Jabberwocky didn't have a name, it was just Jabbo. I feel like you'd be like, oh, Jabbo Olo, or some stupid joke like that.
No, no. If he was playing Set, I'd probably have a pretty good joke.
Now I'm scared.
But that one would have to be like on the fly, because I can't think of a jab 1-2 kind of joke.
So it looks like Frozen's actually going to finally let the lane come out. Downtown will actually be able to have full potential to do an engage if they look for one here. Morgana has to be really careful about using her Q here. Kermit uses the Dark Binding and it misses wide. Camille has all the room in the lane to run him down here. Good freeze pulled out here.
Oh. I mean,
so
look at that. The Hawks
steal.
At least gets
thank
one.
You. I was actually about to hit it with that. What a flash from Logan Silvers. He fakes the flash, goes back in, into the team. Well, it was a bait because
He gets
Sadie
away.
Black and Archangel down here on the rotation. Just Peachy might just be rooted, but he
Jabbo,
might not
help
just be
him.
dead. The frozen
Jabbo,
tomb
please
really
help
good for
him.
Archangel, saving his health bar, and that is 2 Grub Mites going over to the Hawks. I would say Hawk, yeah.
They're still fighting. It's still
They are
going. The
still
hook shot.
going. The rotation
Camille's
coming out
actually
from-
here.
Oh, the rotation coming out from the mid laner, and the support is just so huge. Really good, well-timed ultimate by Mal's and Pals, as well as downtown. I mean, they don't get the Grub Mites, but they get a kill.
It is a 1-for-1, unfortunately. The Demacian Justice does wipe out the Shen Zhao there, but the smite from Logan Silvers was good to steal one of the camps, one of the Grub Mites. It's unfortunate that his flash went the way it
Yeah,
did.
that's rough.
It
And
was a bait. It was a bait.
a very expensive bait, I should say. Very interesting item choice too from Logan Silvers, going first item plated steel caps, foregoing any of the standard other
You know
tank
what?
items.
I like the steel caps first.
I-
Because of I mean, tier 2 boots in the early game, that's a lot of movement speed.
It is, but at the same time, it also severely weakens the clears for especially tank-based junglers due to the fact that Bombi Cinder is a very vital portion of clearing camps like Rugs, Raptors, and Wolves due to the AoE effect. Oh, Camille's gonna hook shot in here. Gets
Hook
blinded.
shot is gonna just come up very short. The spear not gonna be able to connect, but wind does become lightning right onto Kermit. Just gonna get that bot lane prio, nothing more than that.
Damage from Karma coming out. This is what I was talking about with the
I love
early
Karma.
damage pressure
Oh,
coming out. The
what a
Dark
binding.
Knight hits again. Man.
Yo, what is with these Morganas tonight and these
Bro.
bindings?
It's crazy.
The Thresh too. Both Thresh games, game 1 and game 2, landing every hook.
I think
Kermit
tonight's
this
just a
game-
highlight for supports, honestly.
It
it's
really
the highlight
is.
reel, honestly.
Like I felt like I think Bell, the Boulevard hit I think 9 or 10 hooks like in a row.
All right. Lasagna
I mean, I was waiting for it, but here comes Mouse and
that
Pals
Glenn.
now, forcing the clans right on out of Frozen Bullet. Mouse and Pals in the middle of the fight now. Archangel flashing out of that one. Logan Silvers now here. Really great ultimate time by him. Frozen Bullet's going to get blown up.
Them.
And he is going to go down. Dark Binding lands onto its target. It's now going to be a 4v3. The Hawks now making a little bit of extra ground, trying to force them back into the lane. Jabberwocky throwing out the spear. Wind becomes lightning. The Crescent Guard, but the root and the bind just too good from him. He gets the knockup. Is he looking for the kill? He does find it. Manave is just going to start mowing him down, flashing forward on the downtown. Downtown says not today. Maybe not. Double kill for Manave. What?
That was a crazy exchange of plays that I did not expect at all, especially with downtown
doing
flashing
that,
back
bro?
in for the Camille shield. It's so unfortunate that he was slightly out of range for his last auto to finish off that kill, but that was almost a cool play.
I mean, you see the replay, Zen goes back in and they just instantly lock him up downtown. He can't follow. Yeah, you get one trade, but now at this point it's too deep. Manava instantly flashes, sees downtown, and this is so smart. They know it's the shield up. I can't auto. All right, shield's down. Gets the double kill. Perfectly played by Manava in that fight.
Man,
Yo.
that
When did we get a replay edition? Yo! What?
yeah.
Give it up for production. Give it up.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Thank you, Talo, for your help
I
with
am
production.
Talo, by the way.
Absolutely insane.
Shout out to my top laner right there.
He's a dual threat.
Yo, he holds the fort down in the top island and in the casting booth. I love it.
Promote now.
Big dubs. All right, continuing on here.
Yeah,
Looks like
promote above Pierce.
can we get a stack check on the Nasus? I kind of want to see what's going on up there.
168 at 10
Hey,
minutes.
he's
That's
actually-
not bad.
Pretty good, actually.
He's doing just peachy, guys. Jabberwocky jumping in onto Logan Silvers right there, forcing him off of the red buff. Does very well. Has to dive on out of there. Mauser Pals with the death eyeball. Finds the kill. The knockup gonna land true, but so does the frozen tomb. Peachy now making his way over. Mauser Pals pops the ultimate. Sadie Black is
barely
now
gets away.
just getting all of the damage. So is Archangel. He actually might fall with an auto or two. Right on the edge. Right on the edge.
Unfortunately for the side of 867, there was no justice for taking down Jabberwocky today. That he was barely left with a sliver of HP.
Where's the Demacian Justice when you need it?
It went through, just not enough. They couldn't convict him.
And the whole time that happened, Manava actually had another kill bot lane Frozen, so he is just going out of control. That's what we describe as one of the main carries. So almost all the gold for the side of the 867th Hawks is actually on this bad Kog'Maw.
That is a really good sign for them. As long as
That's
they
a
can get their
5-0 Kog'Maw. That
if they
is
get this
dangerous.
if they just get this 3 protect 1 right, like it's going to be
Jabberwocky,
Oh
not.
no, Jabba, don't do it.
Yep, Logan Silver slashing
Flash.
forward, finds the ultimate and finds the kill.
PP
And
coming in from Peachy.
TP coming from Mal.
Or Mal.
Mouse and Pals. Oh.
All right, Peachy making his way down from the
Peachy doesn't
north side
have
of the
any
river,
mana.
but he has no mana. What is he gonna do?
Okay, not to like throw any shade or at all or anything, but I feel like every time I see Peachy play Nasus, she always walks to an objective with no mana. It's kind of funny. Like I think this is a recurring theme out of all. Because I've watched like at least like 3 or 4 of the Secret Agents games, and every time I watch Peachy Myra, she goes to an objective with no mana, and
Oh my
it gets me cracking every time.
Literally oom.
No, this
Yeah.
is a common theme. I'm telling you. I've watched 3 of their games, and this is this is a normal thing when it comes to PG.
Well, even if Jabberwocky died there, at least he got 1 grub, so they won't get the full grub effect. from the side
Yeah,
of
they
the Hawks.
won't. Yeah, that is. I'll take that as a win. They don't get the 5 stacks. So, I mean, it's yeah.
Nasus does have teleport and will have full mana this time for Dragon.
And
so
a
I don't know if
ward in
Hawks
the
can
pit.
contest it. Oh,
Oh,
never
wait,
mind.
no,
PG just teleports up. Never mind.
Yeah, they're a boost side.
But they can't walk in this. Like they see where they're all at.
Oh, really good. Really
shot.
good hook right there by Mouse and Pals, able to take down Kermit with ease. Archangel now the target. Wind becomes lighting on top of him. Now they're looking at choosing their attention over to Manave, just completely ignoring Logan Silvers until right now. And that is huge shutdowns going right over to the free agents. But Kog'Maw gets a double kill.
The demonic ascension from me Mausapaus actually like dominated that fight there. The sustained damage made it too difficult for them to actually last. As you can see in the replay here, he just runs at them and they're unable to actually do any real damage to him. They do aim for the Kog'Maw. Unfortunately, the protect wasn't enough to stop him from reaching Manava that fight. There was cleanse on him. Flash was still down. I don't think it would have been enough though.
No, I don't
No.
think. I mean, Burning Cleanse does nothing in that situation. He wasn't really CC'd. I mean, he does what the ADC must do sometimes, and that's just turret mode and accept your fate. But
Peachy might kill Garen.
popping the ultimate, trying to run down Sadie and Black.
Garen
right
does
there.
that
He's getting a
flash,
little
though.
extra move speed. But Logan Silvers is here on the hover.
It appears that Sidian does not know about the Q cleanse for Wither, which is one of the primary reasons why Garen does counter Nasus as a champion.
I was today years old when I found that out. So.
Again, very little known fact about Garen.
Really good ultimate right on a Peachy. They're going to turn that original aggression from Peachy into an escort to the fountain. Hook shot from downtown. We're going to have a 4-man dive. Jabberwocky going to dive right on in. Both flashes burned by Manave and Kermit. But Manave able to pick up one underneath the tower. He is rooted up. He is stunned up, and he is down for the count.
Massive shutdowns, honestly, for Manava there. Although he did go down, and there was another shutdown granted to the Swain. I feel like it's worth a lot more in the Kog'Maw, especially since later on into the game, he's going to scale very, very well into melting their front line like an absolute beast. The gold difference is actually not that big between bot lane. I thought he would actually be a little bit more ahead. It's only roughly 2.5k gold difference. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, me Mausapaus is ahead by 3,000 gold difference, and that's what's evening out, mostly evening out the gold difference between both teams. It's really just a fight of whichever is more fed, the Swain or the Kog'Maw, at the end of the day.
I mean, the Hawks able to get first turret right there, too, and a Shelly on top of that. Peachy not going to be very peachy
no,
when you're going to get chain CC'd
no.
this way, stunned up, silenced, and then ultimately gray screened.
Honestly, I think the decision of having a Nasus mid here was not too hot. considering that melees in the short lane of mid do not
Oh,
fare very well. Demonic
The
Ascension.
Demonic Ascension immediately on the teleport. They end up still taking that second tier turret, but Jabberwocky now joining the fight. They try to get over to Logan Silvers, but find Sadian Black as an easy target and takes him down. So,
Grand scheme of things, 1 for 1, and you get a tower mid, and it opens up the map more. So
I feel like they need to keep B Mouse of Palace in the center of the map in the mid lane. They move him to the side. He is a very powerful side laner, don't get me wrong. But we need that strength in mid lane right now because they're going to keep sieging it like this. And no one else on the side of
Manabe gonna walk down! Oh, this is why I love Kog'Maw.
actually is walking down. But no one else on the side of... forgetting the team name already. I'm actually blanking.
The Hawk?
No, not the Hawks.
The Secret Agent.
The Secret Agents, there you go. The Secret Agents, they don't have anyone as strong as the Swain here to actually hold mid wave. If they put Varus there, Varus would easily get destroyed by a dive from Logan Silvers and Sadian Black.
Oh,
So, big
Jabberwocky
fight going
jumping on
mid.
in, but a really good Frozen Tomb stopping him in his tracks.
oh, that's unfortunate though because they both ulted at the same time, Glacial Prison and Frozen Tomb, so they didn't get the extra CC layer that they wanted to. So that's 2 big ultimates being burned. Hopefully it doesn't affect him too much. It shouldn't. It was not really a dragon to fight over, but yeah, it's I think it was like, oh, I'll ult for you, and just a slight communication between the jungle and the mid laner.
I mean, we got 30 seconds for this Drake, and it looks like Secret Agents are going to have first move towards it. But they really got to get this mid prio under control before they decide to walk into the pit. What are the Hawks doing? Are they just going to jump on a Peachy?
No, leave Peachy alone. Leave
It's
the
just
dog
the
alone.
dog. Leave the
Thank
dog
you.
alone.
Leave the dog alone. Just let the dog stack.
Just
It's
let-
not
Let him
I don't know if
Can
they
we
should
get
be
a-
letting
can we
Peachy
get
stack
a-
here, not gonna
Look at
lie.
the stat
stack.
check
I
real
promise.
fast.
I promise it won't be a
309,
problem.
that's great.
300 stacks, 18 minutes. I promise it won't be a problem late game. Just let Peachy stack.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
That's
yo,
actually
it's
really
okay.
good pace here
Go
in
blow
Austin.
the Gnosis up right
They do
now.
get the second dragon for this because they were spending a lot of time sitting in the top side. Rift Arrow does hit the tier 2 mid, but they will not continue with
Manabe
it.
trying to go in on top of
Ancient Corruption did go on
Frozen
to
Bullet,
Manaba.
but here comes downtown, and he finds that ultimate right on top of Manabe. Manabe taken out by the Swain. Really good Demonic Ascension, second proc. Now he's turning his attention over to Logan Silvers. I don't know if he's going to be able to do as much damage as Miles and Pals could do to him. Now we're going to roll over to the top side of the lane, and it looks like Jabberwocky can't go any further than that with that Dark Binding.
And this is what I was talking about earlier when the draft talk. They take down Kog'Maw, they have no more damage left to actually continue a fight. It's a big problem. The
What do
other
we see here,
damage source.
Odell?
Yeah. So looking through, they immediately catch the Kog'Maw with the Camille Cage, but they can't really peel him off, and he just has to go down here. Logan Silver's here, just fighting out me, Mouse, and Pals on his own. But because Kog'Maw's already dead, it's just no damage to be outputted. Over at
And on the live, we see Downtown taking the hook shot right onto Kermit, taking him out. While Sadian Black, unfortunately, just has to watch. But I think that was a really good fight, honestly. I think the Glacial Prism was really what did it because, you know, Downtown comes in from over the top of the wall, hits the really good Hextech Ultimatum onto the Kog'Maw, but then just gets stopped like mid-auto.
Peachy Meyer might actually go down here. They're looking for it all the way
yeah.
this time, and as
There's no turret to save Peachy either, so that's just a dead dog.
And
No
no mana
turret.
either.
no mana. I'm telling you, this is a theme. I'm telling you. You look at Peachy, no mana.
No mana. Done. All right, Odell. Yeah. If you're the Hawks, how do you keep your tempo here?
So, all about vision control, right? So if you kind of look at where the map is along the riverside, there's a great amount of vision coming out from the side from blue, right? So Secret Agents can kind of see, okay, they're coming through the river, they're coming through this angle. But for the side of Hawks, they don't have any deep, they finally just got one deep vision, which is what they're starting to do now. But yeah, if you don't get any deep vision, you're essentially playing a guessing game. And
Back to the
if you have a
top.
Camille that can hop over the wall, it's so dangerous. But now they're just trading. It's just top. They're just autoing. They're respecting each other. But yeah, if you have an immobile ADC and you have no clue where a Camille's gonna pop from or a Xin Zhao, You have to play
Speaking of
scared for your
which,
life.
there's Camille right there. Blast plant over into the waiting arms of a
He
of a
dies
waiting
for-
Manave and just dies for free as Baron spawning on the map.
I think that's like the third or maybe the fourth flash that got followed by projectile, and I'm feeling real
so
bad.
Good. I feel
for the
so
people.
good as an ADC. When
I feel
you
so
still
bad
get
for the person who
kill.
flashed though. 300 seconds just to
Never.
die anyway.
Never,
Oh,
never
man.
feel bad. Never once do I feel bad landing that last auto. I'm like, ha! I'm just too good. My right-click button is supreme.
Truly the outplay button right there.
I think
truly.
what's
You know what?
worse. I was like, what's worse if you have like Leandres and you just see it slowly ticking, and you're like in the fountain and it still kills you.
No, you know what's
Oh
even
my
worse?
God.
It's when a melee champion does it. If they hit you and you flash,
They
and
have no
still
clue they're
kill
doing
you.
this Baron, by the way.
Oh,
they
yeah,
are
there's no
doing it
vision
right
on
off
this.
of
This-
Hog. They had zero vision on it to begin with. Wow, they didn't even know it was getting. They cleaned it out.
I spoke about that vision control. They got.
You
I mean,
know what?
yep.
There's
Clean,
heavy
clean.
dragon like advantage over on the side of the secret agents, but when it comes to the top side, I think the H67 that has that more on lockdown with the 4 grubs, Rift Herald, and now Baron. It seems like they just have some like written agreement, just give each other like the opposite sides of the objectives.
I mean,
don't know how I
that's
feel
what you
about
have to do. I mean, in season 14, it's all about the cross map play. So if you know the Hawks are on Baron, you got to try to cross map somehow.
But there wasn't anything to cross map. There's
That's
no dragon.
that's the one thing this time around. But before, they were able to get the Drakes because they were on the Grub Mites. Unfortunately, I would want the Grub Mites over the Drake. But objectives is still an objective. Those stats still matter in some shape or form.
I think the scaling of the dragons, especially when you reach Soul, it does a lot more than the Grub Mites over the long run,
Man,
though.
the vision dance on this one bush is just so
Garen's from
unstable while
behind.
Stadium Black comes in on a massive flank.
Three, man.
And Demacian Justice comes down and destroys one champion. Make that 2. It is now a 3 for 2. And that is going to be the 86-7 Hawks in favor of this match.
That was
Yo, Odell, can you break that one down?
Yeah, so
I know you were
essentially they were fighting over vision control, and Garen was sitting in the river where you see that red ward right on top. So once the replay starts, I'll explain a little bit more essentially what happened. So they're fighting over vision control. They kind of see Garen, but Garen's in the middle, gets his E down on all 3 of them. Lissandra comes over the wall, locks them up. The entire time they're leaving Mouse or Kog'Maw in a 1v1. Kog'Maw is just beating them. They're beating them back. At that point, you take down the Swain. You've just ulted Nasus with Demacian Justice. He's down. Frozen Bullet is down. You have no more damage left, and that allows both Archangel and Logan Silvers to just essentially clean the fight. So it was an ace and a dragon. That is a huge tempo advantage. You want to look at games, right? There's always 1 or 2 fights that you say this is a tipping point. This is where a game gets a lot of aggro, a lot more gold in their team fight. They just got almost 2.5k from that dragon. And remember, they got Baron before that too, so they're slowly snowballing their tempo advantage, and it's put us a stop to their dragon stacking as well. So that was such a critical fight. But now if you're free agents, you just gotta bounce back from it as we see Jabberwocky engaging out of Kermit.
And the Dark Lightning actually stopping him in his track. Nave walking up, just getting free damage. Downtown trying to think about it, but he actually backs on out. Archangel now laying a little bit of the damage. Not going to do much in terms of pursue that. Really smart play if you're the Hawks. You don't really want to throw the tempo advantage like you were saying by chasing. And particularly giving away shutdowns with that.
I'll tell you what, the worst thing you can ever feel is if you're up by a lot, let's say 10k gold, and you either start chasing kills or you start walking through jungle and you don't have your teammates with you and you give a shutdown. And then that shutdown goes into another shutdown. And then that shutdown goes into an objective. And that objective goes into another objective. And then you look at the scoreboard and now you're only up by 4.
Oh, from downtown! There he goes! He finds the hook,
But
the black shield comes out just in time. A really good
Glacial. He can't move.
And there are just so much CC coming out from the Hawks, but look at Frozen Bullet!
Manave's
They cannot
damage
hit the
output.
ADC. Manave and him are now trading blows back and forth like boxes in a ring, and it looks like it's gonna be the Hawks all the way. Can I get
Another
it in
ace.
the chat? That is a Hawk,
do they
yeah!
end it here? This has
They have-
potential to just
they-
end the game.
I don't think they do. Camille's up in
They
10
have-
and Swain's up in 20. I don't believe they can. You have a small minion
They
wave,
have
but
Manave at Stadium Black. They could definitely take an inhibitor.
they can get
maybe.
inhibitor.
And this is what I was like talking about when it comes to like they couldn't reach Kog'Maw. They tried their absolute damn to do it, but Kog'Maw had all the peel in the world and took them out one by one. City and Black following up from behind and finishing off like the stragglers, but a lot of that damage just came out from the Kog'Maw kite, like straight up. Manava did absolute work on the enemy side. He wiped out the Mouse and Pals, which is Secret Agent's strongest player at the moment. Just absolutely melted him. Took down the Camille so that the Hextech ultimate couldn't come through, and then traded one for one, went 1-for-1 with the Bears and proved to be stronger straight up. It was just.
And Frozen Bullet, you have to do that. You have to win the 1v1. If you go down, the main thing is try and get rid of this Kog'Maw and give your team a chance. Unfortunately, it didn't happen there, but the main thing is Mouse and Pals, right? Right, Glacial Prison and a Frozen Tomb. Awesome. You have a great ult. You're just standing still. You can't go anywhere. That allows your team so much flexibility to roam. And City and Black is just consistently going in on Garen, and then Demacia and Justice. Okay, Swain's dead. Who else do you have for damage? Everyone else is kind of behind at this point, so both teams are recognizing, all right, we have to kill this carry. But the main difference is Camille has to lock down a Kog'Maw. If Camille locks down Kog'Maw, they win that fight. If they don't, they lose that fight. That's the key difference maker is this Camille and this Morgana. That's the supports enabling their team to win these elongated team fights.
I mean, we saw it's been the, kind of the name of the game tonight, where the supports are enabling the games. Game number 1, we saw it with the Thresh. Game number 2, we saw it with the Thresh. So
And the Morgana.
and the Morgana. Yeah. Who was the other Thresh? Who was the other?
That was
champ game one?
Bell the Boulevard and Waldo were on Thresh.
They
Kermit
were
was
both
on
on Thresh.
Morgana.
Kermit's on Morgana.
And that was it. We only had 3 games.
Living Chaos was on Morgana. I forgot who the first support was.
Oh, on the side of right here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
It's gonna kill me.
Trying to remember.
Oh well, Garen, City of Black wants this fight.
I mean, this is a fight that they want to take, but Downtown's going to be able to lock somebody up. And a really great flash coming out from Mouse, but he's going to get deleted instantly by that Demacia and Justice. They're trying to get over to Kog'Maw, but they just can't get to him. Jabberwocky throws. The wind becomes lightning. He finds 1 kill, but he can't find another. Archangel stops him in his tracks with a Frozen Tomb. Now Frozen Bullet is the only thing that stands between them and victory. Manabe flashing forward aggressively. You love to see ADCs do this. The Wither comes down. He's going to get slowed up. And he is going to get dropped in his
he's walking back into the Kog'Maw.
And you love Kog'Maw passive.
I'm not gonna lie. Manava flashing forward there. I thought he would straight win against the Bears there, but he actually Bears actually melted him.
Well, that and Peachy got a nice stack with the Q, so it just chunked a good portion of his health out. But we watch it.
Here's the flash
they
forward.
Don't know where they're at. So Manava with just flash in like a Chad, but unfortunately, we'll watch it right here. So E comes down, chunk, and then the auto. But here's the thing: just run, and then he's like, "Oh wait, yeah, there's a Kog'Maw passive."
I mean, you forget about the Kog'Maw passive in the Giga fight. Peachy, no mana, fake check Archangel right here from downtown, but a Frozen Tomb stopping him. But really,
why didn't they auto the dragon? He could have easily shoved Archangel back
and just chunks out Archangel. And no TP to get back if he decides to base right here. He has to stay for this fight.
On this dragon. This is ballsy.
Jabberwocky.
You gotta teleport back in. You have no mana. Yeah, Peachy has to essentially come to this fight now. You're coin flipping.
But he has to say he stops his back. Mouse is trying to keep Sadie and Black off the jungler right now. But Sadie and Black just kind of swirls right on in like a human Beyblade. Logan Silver finds the opportunity, gets the smite steal. They find the ADC and they take him out. Downtown is the one to secure that kill. Now we have on the other side, we have Jabberwocky just laying out a little bit of space. I was watching the wrong screen, by the way, so all of those calls were coming out a little bit lag. Chains of Corruption is going to go wide. That actually went through my window as Stadium Black spins to win the human Beyblade he is. Logan Silvers walks on up, stuns him up, and you know what? I got to give him, the kiting was actually pretty good.
The kiting was decent, but he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Both of the enemy front lines just decided to say, you know what? I'm going to walk on this load ADC. Kiting may be good, but his HP ain't, and we're gonna take him.
If we do get a replay of that, I'd like to see.
I'll just say, as far as the dragon fight goes, I think the whole thing was Peachy couldn't back. So you don't have Fury of the Sands. You don't have any mana to even do a couple withers and essentially help your team out. Jambo is in the fight in that entire time frame. Frozen Bullet's not there. You don't have your Varus. You are essentially in a 4v5. And unfortunately, they lost that dragon. I mean, here's
I'd
Jabba
go as
going
far
back
as to
in,
say a
but
3v5 because of the lack of mana from Peachy.
Their
she was
Baron
there
damage
for
is
intimidation.
not fast. Oh, Kog'Maw's finally here.
Oh,
Oh.
downtown is going to get stopped by that Dark Binding really good, but Mouse and Pals with that demonic
Baron
ascension
Pit-
really great with that Rylai slowing them up. They're all stuck in the Baron Pit right now. But a really great Frozen Tomb coming out from Archangel, stopping Peachy in his tracks from downtown, finds Manabe, finds the ADC, they find the kill.
Manabe
But
goes
look at
down.
Silvers, his hands are too good. The smite secure goes through. Archangel throws the claws and gets the escape, and that is 3 alive with Baron.
This is an insane back and forth. You would think that like the 867th would be able to win that, considering all the other fights, but they actually lose that. They still managed to secure Baron, but the advantage in the tempo is actually swinging back towards SA because of that, and they're gonna get 1, maybe even 2 turrets
They
here.
should be able to get second
Yeah.
turret here too. They have enough damage for this.
I don't think they had the wave to do it though.
No, they do. They
Stadium
do.
Black
They
is
might
just
lose people. They might lose people for
sprinting.
this.
Jabberwocky gets stunned up, knocked
Fight
up.
this.
Here
You
comes
have
Stadium
numbers
Black with a
advantage.
really
Fight this,
good
fight this.
Demacian Justice. I like the root coming out from Archangel. Downtown gets out of there. Mouse and Pals might not. Frozen Bullet is just trying to step and swing as best as he can, but a Fountain Journey is destined for him.
You do
I think-
die, but the thing is, you do get a tower, so you get a little bit of objective gold.
get 2
NASA's able to, right? NASA's able to stack some of the top wave too, so you're still. I'm curious what the NASA stacks are right now. 618, 33 minutes. So
Whoa, that's
still
whoa.
a very strong scaling dog in the late game. So it's perfectly fine. You just make sure that
He
you
walks
survive
up,
to that point.
tries to wither Logan, and
Can't be
he
slowed.
just goes,
Can't be slowed, Teehee.
can't be slowed. I'm gonna keep going.
Oh, is that an Enchanted Crystal Arrow? I'm immune. I play Gwen.
Oh, I don't wanna
Hey,
do-
Gwen
I don't
is
wanna
a view-
talk about it.
bad-
I am
bad
a-
spot girl right
I am an
there.
Ash main, and I hate it when that
I-
happens. But look at Manabe right now, just playing with all the
Wow.
confidence in the world as an ADC should, and just walking at the carries, just dealing damage the way Kog'Maw does. How
That
many
is
items
so
is that?
absolutely gross.
1, 2,
Honestly-
3. Wow.
This definitely just stemmed off the overstay on the mid tier 2. I don't think it was worth it for them to get it there because they just lose their inhib again. Now they're stuck behind their mid lane for a while. They can't get a death push off if they win an ace at this point.
I will argue that it is still possible. I have been triple inhibbed as a Tristana twice. Aced the team twice in a row, and was able to take the inhib both Nexus turret and the Nexus before they respawn the second time.
That is a bit of a rough. I can believe that it's doable. It's just
That- it
I don't
wa- it
think
was
they
a-
have
it
the team
was-
for it.
It definitely was a 50-minute game though.
I don't think I don't
I
think
got,
SA has the team to perform that exact same feat. I'm not gonna lie.
That was my highest kill count to date. I think I had 27 kills on Tristana. No, it was 32 on Tristana just because I refused to surrender.
I'm
was
so
like,
old. I remember when 45 to 55-minute games were normal.
I was like, I refuse to surrender. I will win this game for us.
I'm used to 30, 50 minute games. As a
Yeah,
former
season
Dota enthusiast, I prefer the longer games. You know, I'm not a very big FFer. If you look at my stats on like any of third-party program, it will say that. I'm
Going
not-
in.
That up right there.
Jabbo's
Crescent Guard is going
caught
to
now.
stop him, but look at the pinch that
Oh,
comes
bye-bye.
out from the rest of the team. A flash does not get you out of that one. Really good pick and a target that they
And
really
Dragon,
need
and
to
they're gonna lose
pick
Dragon
as
for
well.
this too.
I think they needed way more people in that bush if they were going to look to bush cheese there. Having just the Xin Zhao there, Jabberwocky being there on his own, did serve much of a purpose. I don't think he ever solos anyone who face checks that bush.
He solos Manabe easily.
Well, of course, but Renava's not going to be the one face checking that bush. He has 3 other champions who's going to do that for him. Why
But
would
I'm
he
just,
ever face check
I'm just
it?
saying, if Manabe face checks, he dies. If Dark Binding is on cooldown, Kermit dies.
That's true, but Dark Binding would have to be targeted as someone before entering that bush, and if they're face checking the bush, it's probably still up.
I'm saying there is a world where he gets a kill, okay?
Yeah,
That was the main point that I was trying to make.
I
Your
need
logic
to like.
is too strong to argue.
you know, I saw this 1v1 ARM both go Yumi.
Please.
No, I refuse. I play Yumi and Aram for like the lulz. That's about it.
This is good. This is gonna be a lot of lulls.
All right, so I mean, we're 36 minutes into the game. Gold really doesn't matter at this point.
I don't know. I think 7K is still a significant amount. That's a
It's still a
two-item
significant
difference.
amount, but it's the. I mean, everybody has essentially come online either for or depending on how fed you are, you're fully built like like Kog'Maw in this case. But everybody has 4 items working on their fist. So I mean, the gold doesn't really matter at this point. I really feel like it comes down to who's got tempo at the moment. And it's really hard to tell like who's actually in control.
I would say 867 is in control because the problem is Jabberwocky is getting caught out. And he doesn't have support. He's either not waiting enough for his teammates or he's trying to make plays. And at that same time frame, that's losing a lot of the advantage that Frozen Bullet and Mals and Pals and Ida and Tanya have been building for their team. So they also have 3 Cloud Drakes. So if they get one more, that's gonna feel rough.
Oh, flash on in with a Hextech Ultimatum right on top of Manave. Mals and Pals throwing the Zhonya's down with the Demonic Ascension still going out, but Stadium Black finds his way over to the ADC. Frozen Bullet is going to get the Demacian justice that he deserves, but Jabberwocky and Logan Silvers are duking it out with Mals and Pals right in tow. Kermit is just skirting on the edge of that bush, finds the Dark Binding, finds the kill. Peachy is just Peachy down there by himself going in for a 1v2. But Archangel is going to be able to secure that kill. Logan Silvers is going to fall down to the Swain because he is just doing so much damage right now. Really big shut down. Archangel now wanting to get a little piece of it. Flashes into the bush, and they auto each other down for victory. Ace going over to the Hawks. That is a Hawk, yeah.
That might be game, though. Look at the death timers.
No, Archangel doesn't have the damage. I don't think.
Well, look at the mid wave.
I don't know. The AP might be there. If Archangel isn't hesitating here, I think he has to.
Too late.
It's too late.
Too late.
It's too late. I'm not gonna lie, I respect the Camille instant flashing and pulling the trigger with no hesitation. He saw Kog'Maw, he saw Manava just out, like, a little bit out of place, away from his front line. No front line in the area to stop this Camille. Instantly flash and cages them on the spot, no hesitation. I respect that.
And then the follow-up from the team, too. There was little hesitation for the follow-up as well, which is equally as impressive because me seeing that, I don't immediately go in. I'm like, all right, cool, my support's dead.
I would 100% take caution in going in there too. That was an absolute wild play. They must have been like discussing that possibility. They must have been like telling him to look and be ready for it. That is not something you pull off reaction time. That's something you pull off with coordination.
All right, well, we got Baron on the map. What is the game plan if you are the secret agents?
Archangel just recalled. This is their chance to take a 5v4.
Late recall. Do they know though? Do the secret agents know though?
I don't think they do.
They had the ward in the bush
Black
to watch
is
it.
looking on working on a flank right here.
Like,
Actually might just ignore the Baron as a whole and just try to rush down the base. The rest of the team actually responding now. Manave walking down Mals and Pals from downtown, finds the Hextech Ultimatum, but he's going to get rooted up into play. Stadium Black on a really good flank. But now here comes the Zhonya's, keeping him alive, keeping the health going. And
didn't
that
go down.
demonic ascension as well, but it is all for naught because Peachy is the last one standing.
I think that's it. That's game.
That's game. That's game.
867 has solidified the victory here.
Can we get a replay of that final fight, please? Odell, break it down for the last time.
Oh, here's a big issue. Here's Frozen Bullet, here's Garen. He has no peel. Camille goes in, the fight split. Garen just do his free will, and yeah, they lock him up, but you're playing from 2 fronts. Now your damage source is down. Mals and Pals is stuck in a 4v1. He's dead, and Peachy's just a dead dog playing a 5. And yeah, it's just there was no peel for Frozen Bullet at the end of that fight, so Garen is just able to just spin to win, Demacian and Dustus, and there goes your damage source.
I mean, I feel like he was holding on to that Chains of Corruption a little bit too long. You saw it fly out there in the middle of the chaos. Mals and Pals pops Zhonya's, and he does land onto a target, but at that point, the fight's already congested right there, so it really isn't doing much in terms of like providing CC as well. I don't know, man. Throw them all.
I would say the one that I made a big point about tempo advantage and the game change has to be the dragon fight where it was an ace and they got dragon, and the only one left alive was Logan Silvers and Archangel, I believe. because that was Garen going into 4 of them, splitting the team apart, and then they just absolutely started slowly taking advantage of the lead because they had Baron before that fight too. But in the meantime, we have Archangel, Logan Silvers, Manava, and Sitting Black. Unfortunately, Kermit is not here at the moment. So out of those 4, who would you recommend for an interview?
I'd say
I don't know. I kind of want to say Manave.
yeah, Manava has been the damage output from Manava and the kiting has been really, really good.
In the target selection too.
Okay, we'll bring
I
him up
think
then.
yeah, I think his performance was the best. Like he played that out very, very well.
Maneva.
Maneva.
Maneva. Okay,
Hey.
my bad.
No, it's Manava. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were actually here. Holy. Hi.
Welcome.
I'm sorry. I thought I was talking to the guys. Hello.
Maneva, got it. All right.
All right,
No,
Maneva.
we'll write that down. Write that down.
Okay. Hello, Maneva. You were really feeling yourself that game. I've seen like the most aggressive like walk-ups from you, even flashing forward at one point to like look for aggressive fights and kills. Although you did die for that flash forward. How uh how
Work.
confident were you in the game there?
Anytime you have a Morgana, it's just really nice because I don't have to like super tune into offensive CC abilities. I can just kind of monkey out damage. So I felt pretty confident with the Kermit on Morgana.
Monkey out there.
I mean,
That's
at
what
this
he
point,
just wants to get
essentially,
out.
right now, there's
Charm,
no
vision.
Poppy and the one shake.
Charm,
You can
vision.
easily see
I mean,
that.
formula's there. Like,
Charm,
watching his
vision.
fight here, you just
It's
walk in and
that
immediately
way
start
on
walking
the
with
fight that you
not
have
out.
with
And
the
you were getting
Apex
hard
Legends
focused
people.
by down
Totally
half
sacrificed,
by
but
kills
United
Hex
keeping
Echo
the
Native.
Dragon alive,
But
and
what were you
it would go down with the Senton.
were you worried at all
And then
whenever like
Alpine
a lot of those
helped,
happened? I know you
save
did die a couple of
Gold
times, but
Stefan.
your team overall looked like they were doing a really good job of just making sure you're alive despite being aged like that.
Yeah, that was kind of the biggest thing. It's like whenever you're playing like a protect the president kind of comp, it's super. I don't know. It's hard to feel discouraged because everything's like built around you, and the teammates. I don't know. I have fun talking to them constantly, and they can always play their role. So, yeah, it was fun to do all the damage, but then having Garen clean up the Varus uncontested is always really nice. It's less pressure on me.
Odell, you got anything?
Sorry?
I said Odell, do you got anything?
I mean, no, it's just. Oh, you got the dragon fight up? Awesome. So production does have the dragon fight up. So we'll get in a second, but no, it's just I've played against you if you remember in season 1.
I'll never forget the maiden.
Never forget the maiden, but also the game that we lost that you guys came back. Do you remember what champion you had? Because I do.
It was probably Neon Kog'Maw.
Right. Do you remember who your top laner was playing?
It was Eddington, and he's incredibly unhinged. So
I mean, here's the
Well,
Drake
I'll
fight.
get back in a second. Wait, here's the dragon fight. So Garen's spinning in 3. Damn, went black second. So yeah, so Garen spinning in 3, Lissandra over the wall, and right here, Glacial Prison, Frozen Tomb, locked up 3 people, and you're on the top side. I mean, yeah, you're essentially fighting back and forth, but you still get a kill, and you deal enough damage on Frozen that it enables your team to essentially clean that fight up, and the Lissandra passive is so disgusting. But you look at that gold lead,
Stability.
it's only 3k gold lead, so it's still in their tempo favor, but that was the deciding team fight, I think, that allowed you to keep going and snowball your lead. But yeah, he was playing Shen. You were on Kog'Maw. Do you remember who Danforth was playing?
I don't. Probably maybe Bard. No. Who's
He
playing?
was playing Rakan.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
And you want to know how hard it was to try and get to you as a Kayn?
probably about as hard as the
Or it
president.
wasn't a Kayn. It was I think I was playing Vi. Extremely hard because I would go in Rakan W into a Shen taunt, and I was like, well, I'm dead. Like, it was so incredibly annoying for
Yeah.
that team comp. So I thought for sure Sitting Black could do Shen, and it was like a deja vu. But he did very well top lane. He handled his own. But no, don't. For everyone watching, do not give him Kog'Maw. I'm just letting you know. That is one of his pocket picks. He doesn't display it too much, but he's very, very well versed on it.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
And then
thank
you look at that
for
damage,
everything.
75,000 damage. That right there.
It
The
was
next
a fun
person
damage chart.
The next person on his team was 45k. I think that kind of speaks volumes for the champion and how he handles them.
Yeah, the percentage HP damage especially against our team, super fun.
Your mid laners, remember the time he autoed the Nasus instead of the Varus? Good times.
Listen,
Okay, listen. I know exactly what happened because
I
I
got
saw
withered.
that replay back. Don't worry, I got you, Manave.
Thank
I
you.
got you. He was a clicking to get away. He can't help it if the next person walks into his face. Okay, he can't help it.
It was the Nasus Wither with my lethal tempo stacks falling off, so my attack speed was plummeting. It was the worst thing to play. We don't have to pull it up if you don't want to, really. It's you know,
It's
we
the
don't have to
kite.
highlight.
It's the auto to get away
Okay.
kiting tactic. He can't help it if the next person he has to hit is the Nasus. Ugh.
Not my finest hour.
So
Hey,
Thank
still
you.
got a 1-for-1 trade though.
Regardless of how that play turned out, I still think if you don't flash there, you're not doing it right. Always flash there.
That's the biggest thing. I think that game was just like it was fun to play, and I hope it was fun to watch because we were just kind of swinging at each other constantly.
Oh yeah, it was fun to watch.
yeah, y'all were just fighting it out.
I think we
every-
started with a gold lead, but I don't know. It never really felt like it. We were just kind of constantly trading kills.
It swung back and forth. Yeah, this one.
Oh god.
So yeah, so you see the bars right here. You flashing
The
forward,
boy! Let's
get
go.
the bork going on, but now you're like, I need to walk
Flashes in.
backwards, and then Peachy just kind of steps in front of your face.
It's
And
the Wither, I swear. 99% attack speed slow. It's so bad.
it is what it is.
Well, that's
All
all I have. Do you guys have anything else for before we head out?
I do not have anything else.
I actually just wanted to ask, like, how did it feel to play against SA tonight?
It's
What do you get? Any comments on them as a team?
super fun. Despite like the end of the game, I feel like laning was really close. Their jungle rotation is insane. They beat us to so many dragons that we should have had prio on. Like their macro rotation is really good, and I think it points out a lot of flaws in our gameplay that we want to work on. And it's also, like I said, super fun to just go back and forth. I'm glad they kept fighting us.
Very nice, very nice. All right, I have nothing left. That was the last question I had.
Is Sejuani's flag coming back on Tuesday?
I don't know.
I was wondering because next Tuesday, the 501st takes on the 867th Hawks. So, if Sejuani's flail is in, you got to go against his Briar.
Oh no, dude, he's probably just gonna kill me, right? Lethality Briar is like a ADC's
I
nightmare.
don't
Wake
know
up
if
in a
you
cold
watch
sweat.
any of like his games, but I don't think he's killing anyone. If I'm gonna be honest,
Oh no.
he has. If I recall, 3-15. Am I?
And
Well,
you
like,
guys got
that was one
to
game.
play
That was one
right
game.
before the
One
patch
game.
comes out too. Oh, that's
Someone
fine.
wants to
That's
correct me on
terrible.
that, but
That's one game.
Oh,
But but
no, we're good.
anyways, we're gonna call it a night. Everyone have a good weekend. And next Tuesday, March 5th, we have 2 games on the schedule at 1800 with the 501st large skill gap taking on the 867th Hawks, which you just saw play here against the free agents. And at 7 o'clock, the other team you just saw, the free agents, secret agents, will take on the joint team Maritime Vanguard at 1900. So other than that, have a good weekend. Stay safe. And we hope to see you next Tuesday.